so that recordings so that we can share it with other people later, and we hope that more will be joining us.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just jump right in. Is that okay, Joyce?
Yep, absolutely. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you. My name is Sarah Haudeschelt, and I appreciate that you guys took that time out of your Tuesday in the summer to join the Let's Connect. This is a pretty exciting Let's Connect. It's a nice kickoff for a new adventure that we're going on with Tri-T, and it's pretty exciting. So what I do want to introduce, so that the ambassadors are kind of taking lead on this new avenue and this new adventure, and with guiding us. So the ambassadors are Kathy Hollis, Claudia Clarkson, Joyce Rutherford Donner, Susan Henderson, Judy Swift, and Deb Nuss, and myself. And then we are working with Lainey
Boy.
Hoy, thank you, is her last name. And so she just recently had a baby. So she's had a little hiatus. It's been crazy, but it's very, very exciting. So we, with the guidance of the National Executive Board, we were trying to think of what we can do to broaden our horizons with the marketing feature, with contributing to our with our communities, not only with camping, but with other things. And we were thinking about doing and we came up with, there was a lot of ideas on the table. A lot of ideas have been thrown on the table for years. And so this year we are venturing forward with an annual service weekend. And the annual service weekend is going to be always the first weekend in October. So whatever that weekend is. And it is your chapter will decide what your community is needed in your community, and what your chapters can contribute to your community. And it could either happen on Saturday of the weekend or Sunday of the weekend. So the opportunities are really broad for this contribution to your community. And really, like, we just are thinking that you can come up with, so you can go to your chapters, come up with an idea to what they were thinking or to what they want to contribute. You guys can even join together with local chapters that are close to you and make a bigger impact. And then it could kind of be a social environment plus plus a service project. And so that's really what we're doing. We're doing it because we are a large group of women who can contribute to our communities, our communities need it. And we are just expanding our presence in the communities. We're hoping this is a nice marketing feature and a nice branding for our communities. And then it will contribute, grow year after year. And then that first week in October will be just a nice little staple of where we are. It'll be great for when we do have conventions. So when we do come to convention at the end of October or the third week, we can all celebrate what we've contributed to our communities and share our knowledge. And then we can also touch with the marketing with our communities, with our whatever marketing we do with our cities. So there are a few things, and I know a few people joined and a few people did not, but there's a few guidelines, not very many though, few guidelines. It's going to be the first weekend in October. You'll have to share what you plan to do with us and the name and address of where you are working. That is for insurance purposes. We don't care what you do, but we want you to share it just for insurance purposes. And then come together as your group and decide on a great sponsor or a great community project. So like, I know my chapter has been throwing around the idea of making dinner at the Ronald McDonald House, our Ronald McDonald House that's local here. I know the person, the executive director, and they have families and they host dinners, every night for the families that are there. And I figured this is a great opportunity for my chapter to come together, make the dinner kind of, and in the grand of breaking bread with people, helping them facilitate, and then us going to deliver it to them on a Saturday or Sunday night or evening for dinner. The exciting thing is we will have shirts. We are deciding as we speak. The theme of this service project or this service weekend is we camp, we lead, we serve. That's the theme. So the shirts will be purple and have something in that manner on it and options. We will be working with an online order, housing, whoever to make the shirts. And so we will communicate out that when the shirts are ready to be ordered, and you guys can just order the shirts directly from them and they will be shipped to you guys. So very organized manner and not getting really the back office really that involved with it. And so that's my spiel. I know that was kind of 7 minutes. So let's open it up for questions. And we do. This is definitely our first year. And so we are aware that it is different. And we appreciate you guys jumping on and accepting and opening your mind to something different than we've been doing for 111 years. But, I think this will be a nice way to get new members, to share the name of Tri-T out to the community, and then just fellowship with our own ladies, and contribute to our communities in another way other than sending girls to camp, which we also love dearly.
Okay.
So, questions? Yes, Peggy.
Okay, first question. Is this just for members, or are we supposed to involve our campers, our girls?
Good question, Peggy. It really depends on the project that you have. So we have talked to people. We were actually on our Founders Day in Ohio. We were down visiting an old historic home. We were chatting about it. We did the sneak preview with our ladies at Founders Day. And the lady who was giving us the tour was like, well, we do volunteer things. Like her eyes came, we do volunteer things. You guys could do it here. And she goes, and we also accept kids. So it really depends on what you do and what the rules of the volunteer thing that you are doing. There has been ideas thrown out that you could go to the camp that your kids go to. But the question is do they accept minors as volunteers? And if it's just too much of if they don't accept it, right, we're not going to accept it. Like that should not hold you back from doing something at the camp. And that's just an example, if that's what you decide. But if you want to do something with your campers, then you would just plan your program around that.
Okay, this is what we do every year, the first weekend of October anyway. In Anamosa, Iowa, we have a annual Pumpkin Fest celebration that first weekend. We always have a parade. Last year, our girls were in the parade. This year, we're going a bit further. We're having a professional banner made, and we're going to actually have a big float, and we're going to have the kids, our campers, on the float. And then the campers after the parade, they also have a carnival and they have all this other activity. And then the campers help with the games. So they go out with the young children and help with the games. Now that's just something that's already in place for us. Now, that's not to say that we can't now do something else, but that's something that's already in place.
Yeah, I feel like because it's the first weekend in October, you might have already hit the jackpot. I mean, we might say that you're the first program or first chapter that does this already.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you're winners.
I love
Yeah, but
groundbreaking.
I don't know. I think you are doing exactly what we intend for us to do, right? The service is out there, or the need is out there, and your chapter is contributing an added benefit, your marketing, right? Like you're hitting all the points that we are trying to hit.
Yeah.
So
Well, the big thing is brand awareness.
Brand
We're obviously going to be doing more fundraising, so it really helps when they can relate to who we are and what we do. And when they
Right.
see Tri-T, it's not the question I always get of, I've never heard of you. So we're hoping that our signage and we're also looking at some other things to do in, before this event. Just again, brand awearness.
Right. And the good thing is now you'll have t-shirts
Mhm.
to wear.
That's right. We have everybody.
We'll have everybody have a t-shirt. Julie, question.
So I have two questions, Sarah. First of all, this is just an amazing idea. And I've got some ideas I maybe want to share with my own chapter. The local school we get girls at, I was thinking of contacting them and say, hey, is there anything we could do on the grounds of the school or, something like that, just helping with the school itself. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if we'll do it, but I don't know if anyone has any other ideas. So, but who you say we need to inform you where we're working. Are you going to have like a form for us, or will you let us know who we are informing?
Yeah,
Maui or
right. So I think the easiest way is, and I don't know, like I don't mind having you guys send them to me for tracking, and we'll send an email out. We'll send an email out anyways after this connect with some touch points, and then we'll continue touching points until October with just information, and then on the bottom of the email would have like ideas or projects that you can contribute to, and you can email those to me. I'll just have my personal email on there that you can email it to me, and then we'll accumulate. And this is the first year, so next year it might be a little bit more formal, and you submit a form on the website and all that good stuff. But this year I think we're just going to go simple email, and in case we have any questions, then we'll follow back up with you.
okay.
And feel free in that email to ask any questions that you have.
Okay, then a second question, like, Peggy mentioned they were going to be doing this parade. Let's say there wasn't a carnival at the end. So just they're on a parade route. Or let's say somebody wants to like clean up trash along a stretch of highway or something like that. When we're talking about you want the name and address, like that can get a little bit tricky about, a name. It's not like it's a physical place like Ronald McDonald's house. So
Right. Right.
I think my understanding from the insurance company is that if we have the name of a contact person and what you're going to be doing, so the location doesn't have to be identified specifically, just the contact person with the chapter that you are going to be involved.
Okay, thank you.
Is that good?
The location is good for us to know. A
Yeah.
span highway. I don't know if it's going to be on a highway, but it's a span of road. And make sure a person.
I love this.
Also,
I love this school idea too.
I do love the school idea, and especially since they'll be in school. And just make sure, and I know this is a very generic statement here, but like make sure that we are safe in all of what we do. So I know this is very common sense, but don't go out on the highway if that's a risky thing. And obviously do it where your members can all get involved. It's not a walking thing. There's a lot of other things that don't have to have walking involved or technology involved if that's not what your chapter is game for.
Like what, Sarah?
But I think you're on recording, Joyce. That's weird. That wasn't really you. Anyways, but this is going to be when our kids are back at school. So if it is like what you were saying, Julie, to get involved with kids, you could even do like a tutoring, right? Like Saturday morning tutoring for some of the girls at your school, or even your campers. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities just because we're back in school that we can offer things like tutoring and other things like that.
Sarah, I have a question about following up on what Peggy was talking about, where they pretty much, I'm going to extrapolate, Peggy, that you have a plan, you have a process that your chapter knows what they're doing and everybody has their part in it. So one of the dynamics that you could be adding this time is that marketing piece, that getting media involved. And I know that the ambassadors certainly have talked about the importance of getting media involved in this, because that turns into then a bigger marketing tool than even just the 15 minutes of fame or 15 seconds or however long it is. But especially if you're doing if you're working with our kids or our campers, that's a real hook for the media. They love to see kids involved in something, especially giving back, service, philanthropy, or education. So Sarah, do you have some recommendations for how we go about engaging the media, or is that something that Lainey will be working with all of us about as we go forward?
Yeah, well, I think Lainey will be working with us. That's not my specialty. That's her specialty. And I think what a good kind of benchmarking would be the next few meetings would be engaging your chapters and figuring out what project you want to do. Come down to, narrow down a few projects, come up with some contacts, and then contact those people to see if that weekend works for them. And then we can start heading down that road with, okay, lining up what we're doing. And then how many people are going to be involved with that from our chapters and or kids, and or if you expand to other chapters too, how does that get involved? And then we can develop our generic, or we are Tri-T, we are sending out kids to camp. This is our inaugural service weekend. We're a chapter, or we're an organization that's been around for 111 years, and really we see a need to give additionally back to our communities. And this is what we're going to do as our inaugural weekend with giving back. And I think that even can be generically stated from us, drafted from us, is who we are, what we're doing, and then you fill in the we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And then it's a very generic thing. And so we can do that and give that to you to give that out to your council board and your other things, and just submit it to your council meetings or to any media. And on our social media page, right? Like we could even do, as we lead up to it, we can do a social media, campaign. Peggy's chapter is doing the float, right? Check out the page, and then we will do a wrap up afterwards with how it happened, how it went. And as you go, please document pictures. Please take pictures if you can, right? If you can, if you can't, if you end up doing a nursing home, right? Obviously, you will not be able to do pictures.
Uh-oh. Sarah left us for a moment. So I think what she was talking about was really documenting, whether writing down what you do. And I know that's hard because you get in the middle of it, you're just doing it. But it's so important, and it'll be really helpful going forward. And we want to be able to present this a year from now for additional chapters to feel like, oh, okay, I can do this, and it isn't scary, and I can get involved and follow the footsteps of the chapters that have worked on it the first time. In a group like ours, the size of our society, there are always going to be that percentage of chapters that are the early adopters who just jump on an idea like this and run with it and have it all worked out and figure it out as they go along. And there are others that just need those breadcrumbs to follow. And so in successive years, they'll be more interested and more able to be comfortable moving into this project. So Sarah, how are you doing?
Oh,
Are you
good.
back with us?
Yeah, my computer's having a Mondays. It's having a chance of the Mondays.
Oh.
I
On
apologize.
Tuesday.
I mean, who knew? Who knew? You know, I
Right.
feel like Zoom has issues every once in a while with me at night.
Oh. So are there any other questions or comments? Pat, what
Yeah.
are you thinking?
I think this is a great idea, and the idea of a press release sample is awesome, because I know there's one on the website now, just general tri-T, but that would be really helpful. Our chapter is great because we have our editor of our newspapers on our members, so that kind of helps.
Oh, gee
but I have-
whiz, yeah.
I have a follow-up question, just in case I get asked. We're going to send in a project, but what do you mean by insurance? Just in case something happens, just a little clarification.
Okay, as the board was discussing this event and trying to think ahead, we said, okay, do we have insurance coverage for accidents that might happen to cover our members? And so we did contact the insurance company, and we do have coverage for, not outrageous things. If you think you're going to go climb a flagpole and jump, you may not be covered, but for the sorts of things we'll be doing, and that's why they want a short description of what we're doing
Okay.
in each chapter, that we do have coverage. And we just wanted to make sure of that so that we would know that yes, there is coverage for our members involved in a society sanctioned activity under normal, circumstances that would be considered reasonable.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So they want to be able to, our agent in Mount Pleasant wants to be able to take this list of who, where, and what, and run it by the insurance provider, the underwriter, ahead of time. So we're asking for that information by the middle of September, in preparation for the event right at the beginning of October. But thank you. I'm glad you asked that, because that was a concern of the board, and we did go ahead and take steps to make sure.
Sarah,
Okay,
about these shirts, as it got I assume it's got the Tri-T logo. We can't, we lead, we serve. Is that on the front, the back? What, can you give me
Yeah, I'm thinking V-neck along the front.
okay, with the logo? And then bullets, or are you just you're gonna have our logo on there, right?
Yes.
Big.
In addition to, so we have the theme of this event and the Camping for Girls logo.
Front or back?
No, I can't talk. I'm in a Zoom.
Right. Well, what I was also thinking, and I don't know if this is, can we say Time Treasure Talents on it? Is there an order that it goes?
Okay.
I don't think there's any problem. I would refer you back to the guidelines for using the logo,
Okay.
the new logo. Time Talent Treasures is just kind of, our interpretation of the 3 T's. and certainly could be included. It wouldn't be overlaying or interrupting the logo itself.
Correct. No,
That's what I'm
I
putting
that
on
would
our
work.
banner. I'm putting the time, to emphasize the T's,
yeah,
time treasures, or
Mhm.
time, talent, treasures. That we
Mhm.
give our time, talent, and treasures is what I've got on
Right.
there. But,
Yeah.
but this,
Okay.
we camp, we lead, we serve. I'm just wondering, so this is something that the members should wear, not my girls, our campers. So I should probably have them back in their yellow camper shirts that they get at camp.
I guess I don't know that I'm opposed of them wearing the purple shirt. We camp, we lead, we serve shirts. I mean, does anybody else? I mean, I think it would look nice with
Okay.
all of us wearing purple.
Well, okay, so here's a sort of a question that goes along with that. Is
Yeah.
this going to be TTT Service Weekend and dated? Then do we have umpteen shirts over years, like they do for concerts and stuff?
Yeah.
Then the girls could have them, and that would be a reminder. Anything that we can do to give the girls a keeper item that when they think about, oh, I went to camp, who sent me? They can pull out the shirt and say, oh, it was this group, and they've got our name and website, and they can get back to us.
So I was thinking on this website, we can have multiple designs on this website.
Okay.
Ah,
So what we can have is the shirt with the dated. I was thinking along the back, having time, treasure, talent kind of cross the back of the shirt.
Uh-huh.
And then having we lead, we camp, we lead, we serve on the front, and just a simple white with block letterings on it. But there will be a few options on the website because not everybody likes stuff on their back. And not everybody likes it across the front, right? Like there's certain people that just don't like certain things. And I like a V-neck. So
Well, I think it's important that we explain what the T's mean,
I
because
would agree.
I always get asked that. What's that mean? What does it stand for?
Right. I want to say, like, what does it mean? Yes, I
Yeah.
would agree. That is that's a very valid question. And that is going to be on the design. So yes.
Okay.
But for example, Peggy, though, is your chapter or whatever is going to have to foot the bill to those girls' t-shirts unless they pay, right? Like, so if you
That's
want to
all
get
right.
this,
That's fine. We'll buy
Okay.
them.
okay. Yes. Any other questions?
Sarah, this is Kathy Hollis here. I was just piggybacking off of that question, then it's left strictly up to the chapters on whether they want to provide the shirts for the girls or have the shirts available for the girls, or if they just want the members to have the shirts. So it's left up to the chapters, correct?
Correct, it is. Right.
Okay.
And my hope is that when we come together after and do like a recap, my hope is that some people will say, we did this, it didn't work very well. And we did this and man, it really worked. And then this just keeps evolving over year after year after year into something. And we could snag some best practices from different chapters. And maybe one of those is like, having the campers there, right? And then secondly, like having campers from previous years come back to the service center, the service years, and just build on and on and on. And in that case, I don't know if it's worth getting one with a date on it if you're going to have your campers come back and back and back. So that's one of those, like, we will learn over time things.
mhm.
And then it might change. Projects might change. Do you go with the same project for 5 years and then you switch over and do something else? Or do you swap different projects every year? Or do you just partnering? I mean, this is then also a partnering with a and starting a relationship with another organization or with another place in your community. And so that's also the mindset of like, not just cleaning a park and cleaning and we love our camps, but how can we bring a bigger bang for our buck? Do we partner with the Teachers Association and do something with them? Or do we partner with the Optimist? Like we have an Optimist Club in Kettering. Like, do we partner with them and do a program with them? Or we invite them to our volunteer project of whatever we do. And we go speak to them before our project and invite the ladies to our projects. You know, like that could be one of the big introductions. Other than coming to your meeting, you could go present at a ladies luncheon of some sort in your community and say, and get your meeting in and share what we are. And then say, come with us on our volunteer service weekend. And then that could be a very good community involvement, getting to know people and that kind of a manner. So the opportunities are endless with this. It's very exciting as an ambassador to see what's going to come out. Because every time I keep like hearing people are just like, oh yeah, we could do this, we could do this, we could partner, you know, like it's going to be very exciting to see what people come up with, and that then we can like piggyback and drive from that for future.
Okay, Diana, I think you had a question or comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say, in the interest of economy, and for those of us who already have a collection of volunteers t-shirts that would stagger the world, we might want to keep them without dates, at least for a year or so that you could wear them more than just the one time and have them still be fresh, you know, without
Be
being dated every
relevant.
time you put a date on something and you wear it again a year later. It would just seem to me to be a better choice, at least for a start.
That's a really good point, Diana. And I also think some people are minimalistic. I probably am not at this point, but that's my goal in life. And so just having one shirt is fine with people. So that is a really good point about with the years. Julie, you have a question?
Yeah, so, you know, Sarah, you just said you keep getting inspired by, you know, hearing all these different ideas and everything. And I guess I'm just kind of curious. So we heard what Peggy's chapter is doing. If there's anybody else on the call here who knows what they're going to do or has any ideas, just so those of us on the call right here can just hear a couple ideas, even if it's just, you know, I was just thinking, you know, whether you've even talked with your chapter about it or not. So I was just wondering if there's some ideas that people might want to share.
Okay, so I'll put Mary Coburg on the spot. Did you write down all the ideas that we talked about at our May meeting? We're in the same chapter, and we were bubbling with ideas. Everybody had something, so we wrote down a whole long list.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been narrowed down yet.
You know what? I didn't write them all down, and I don't have the list if Diane sent it out, because she usually does. But I will say one thing that, you know, Joyce, I'm fighting this for even saying it, but I know a float is a hard project, but to be able to do something like that, it really catches people's eye to begin with. And if we could have some of the campers even working on it, let alone writing on it, you know, and I just think that would be a lot of fun, but I think it might be way too much.
Well, we have to find a place that has a parade on the first weekend in October. It'll probably be the first trick.
But anyway, I'm really sorry.
You can come to Anamosa. It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
we can come to Anamosa.
They have the Ryan Norland giant pumpkin contest, and people come from come from all over, out of state.
Yeah.
And it's it really is a big deal, you know, and it's been going on for, oh my, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah.
And
In fact, you guys, I'll let you in on this. Why, or this even became an event was, some of you, I'm sure, know Nancy Norland, who's a TTT sister.
Uh-huh.
She lost her son in a boating accident.
Oh,
And this was, he was little. So, I mean, he was probably 10 years old. So it's probably been 30 years ago. And the uncle started this. He was fascinated with giant pumpkins. And this is how this whole thing started. They just had a local contest to grow your biggest pumpkin and, you know, bring it in, have it weighed, and we'll give you a prize. Well, this has evolved into being, you know, now the prizes are thousands of dollars. People bring in pumpkins that are, like 2,000 pounds, you know, they're
oh,
massive.
jeez.
And this is how this thing has evolved, you know, over so many years.
Cool.
And they, like I said, you know, it's a big deal. So, so this is kind of a, well, it also supports Nancy and her memorial thing for her son, who's a TTT sister, and as well as, you know, the benefits to the community.
Cool. Kathy, did you say that you had a idea?
Yeah.
Well, with my first question is, I'm sorry, I forgot. I mean, I missed the first part. Are the shirts cost per member, the t-shirts?
Are they what?
Do we get charged for the t-shirts? Is there a price? How much is it?
You would, I think the way they're planning to do it, to keep it as low a cost as possible, is that you would sign on to a website and order them as you need them. So yeah,
Okay.
it would be a cost to the members to buy.
But
the
we don't know how
t-shirts.
much yet.
No, I don't think they do. Sarah,
Okay.
any
It's
estimate
early.
of that?
Sounds like they're
That's-
still in the designing stage too.
Okay,
so-
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
she just said not yet in the chat bar, so.
So then the other thing is some of the things we've been thinking about is we have a church that makes meals every night, 3 days a week. I mean, every week, every day of the week. And it's called Food at First. And they give it to people that they come in, and they serve about 90 to 100 people every meal.
Wow.
And so there's always looking for volunteers, and I volunteer there through my work, and it's like a 3-hour shift. So it'd be more for members, but to help serve, you know, or you can help cook. But I think our chapter would probably be better off just to help serve because it's not as strenuous. And you're not on your feet the whole time. So that's one thing, is volunteering, like basically a food kitchen or something. And then also volunteering with churches and, you know, cemeteries, cleanups. I mean, you know,
Hmm.
all kinds of, you know, what do I say, the park cleanups or anything like that too.
Mhm, mhm.
Thank you.
And hopefully the weather is going to be nice that weekend. And so if you do something outside, it'll be nice and cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, still
You never
early
know.
enough. Yeah. Okay.
So I think we were thinking, here's a few other projects, and I know but even, and this is one, if you really have a problem with, like gathering, and we're definitely talking about, if we cannot get together that weekend, you know, there's a lot of alternatives. So if you can even, like, if people are traveling in your chapter and you collect, you know, sample shampoos and samples, you know, those things from hotel things, like, you can donate it to the women's shelter, right? And feminine products, right? And you can go deliver them to the shelters on that day, and start a relationship with them there. So it's, you know, we would like to have it on that weekend, but if your chapter is just not, if they're not available that weekend, we don't want to also say that you can't do anything, right? So we'll take any service that can happen. And so we were thinking like, there's also like a food pantry that you can give away at food pantries. And then somebody was talking about they do like a prom, like do hair and makeup for prom. But we were thinking that usually during the fall is like homecoming. And so you could do like a hair prom or hair get a dress thing for homecoming kind of a thing too.
Hmm.
If you're
Sarah, this is Pat. I have a question. We already participate in a women's crisis center, but it's at Christmas time. And I thought, well, maybe we could change that. But at Christmas, we always buy pajamas. Everybody buys some new pajamas and we donate those, and plus all the feminine hygiene products and stuff too. So, I mean, I guess we could move that up maybe, is a thought.
well, and maybe Pat, maybe it's something that you do, not move it up, but maybe you can ask them if they have anything in the fall that is different from the winter or for Christmas time. If there is I don't know, if there's I'm even thinking like resume, if they need any resume help, if they need any, I don't know. I don't know.
We go through our closets and we donate lots of clothes too. So
That's nice.
but that's kind of, I think, like we thought originally, do they have a closet, but they sell them in a garage sale so they can buy the women gift cards for whatever they need. So, but we always take an event during the year and do that. So, I was thinking about this. I think this overall project is great because, when it was changed that our main focus is camp girls, we did lose some members because we used to do a lot for the community. I think this is a great opportunity to kind of get back in the community without, just camping, but, even if it's just once a year, I think this is a great idea.
Pat, I'm so glad you said that because that was my feeling too, that this is an opportunity to give personally back, where often it was money that chapters raised and gave to community projects. But this allows for relationships and connections, which I was really pleased with.
Yeah, I agree. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the best job is going to be you guys, right? It's going to be you ladies. Like that's what the big thing is we want to make sure that we let you do your thing.
Yeah.
Because we have some really smart and outside the box thinkers out there. I mean, you ladies. Any other questions?
No, but I think it's a great idea.
Good.
Good.
Sarah, this is Adrena, and I'm the chapter Q here in Arizona. In July, we're going to be working with the school that we have our young ladies from, and we're doing a high tea. And we also doing Christmas and the Thanksgiving holidays. We go help serve food to the families. I think your idea is really important. I've always said that I wish I had known Tri-T many years before I joined, and that's because we're not known. And I think what you're saying, the impact of the communication of the relationship with the community opens up another door, which is a very important door. It allows us to be known to who we are because we do a magnificent contribution to the community with the girls. So your idea is really wonderful. And I know my ambassador, Kathy Hollis, is here. And I just, my chapter unfortunately will not be meeting till the first week of October, but I will be contacting my president, Cynthia Bush, this evening and ask her to let's get started working on something.
Yeah. Well, and I really like,
yeah.
Well, Cynthia, I've worked with her and other things. I think I was the nominating committee with her last year.
So.
Yeah. I mean, she's a dynamic woman. And then Kathy. And and I know that you guys don't meet until October, because I'm sure a lot of your people are maybe around, but you know, it's also, if you can't get in on the first year, this is gonna happen year after year. So,
Well, maybe if we can't do the first weekend, maybe we can do something the
Weekend.
second weekend.
and you can always do that and then just
Yes.
plan, yeah, to rock it, right? Because we do know that this is the first, we're still trying to stretch out, figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Yes.
So, yeah. We don't want to
Once
put
again,
any limitations around it for it to be a hard thing. We wanna see what you guys can do.
that'll be great. And
Yeah.
thank you for, great idea.
So Sarah, we didn't talk about this and you can say, shut up, Madam President, but but I'm going to impose, I'm just wondering if everyone that's on the call, would you be willing to put in the chat box the name of your chapter and a yes, we're going to be involved, or we're thinking about it, or not this year, or some kind of a reaction, so that we get a sense of what chapters are planning already to participate, even if you don't know all of the details yet. So would you be willing to do that in the chat box?
Oops.
And if
Does
you need
everybody
help,
know?
everybody okay with the chat box? Yeah, you okay with the chat box? It's at the bottom of the screen, there's something that says chat, and that pops up a side panel on your screen. And way down at the bottom of the side panel, you can type in your information and make sure that it goes to everybody.
Yes.
That would be great. Mary, are you going to do that for us, or do you want me to?
Well, this would be a first, so I'm going to try.
Okay. If not, I'll add us to it, or will.
Okay, I'm starting out here. To everyone.
Looks like Maria has a question.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
Well,
Maria.
sorry, I don't know how to do that. I was just gonna say, I'm Iowa ET.
Oh,
Me. And we
Yeah.
we are
Okay.
hoping to get a project organized. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay,
This is Pat.
thank you.
We haven't met yet, but our big fundraiser is July 4th. So I think we might be able to have some time to talk about it there.
Talk
I know
about it.
personally, I'll be out of the country. So,
Oh dear. Well,
Where are you
that sounds exciting, but
well, going back to Canada for a while. So,
oh,
but
okay.
so that's why I was wondering if it had to be that weekend or maybe, but I'll talk to the group and I'm sure they'll we'll do something.
Well, it sounds like Sarah and the ambassadors have anticipated that it may not be able to be everybody on that week. We had to identify a weekend, but there's flexibility.
there is.
Yeah, that was my question too. So that's good.
I mean, you can always do something in Canada too.
Right. Go to my niece's
Why
wedding.
not?
Yeah,
Oh.
going to a wedding.
Oh, it's a celebration. Oh, you
Going
don't-
to a
yeah.
wedding. Oh, how wonderful.
that's fun too. Yeah. Well, we'll catch you next year then.
Well, we'll probably still
Oh,
do
don't let her.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah.
something.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Question. Okay, I did it. twice.
Mary?
Now what do I do? To
Did
everyone.
you
and I
push
wrote my-
return?
Huh?
Yeah, did you push return?
Oh, is that
Just
how you
push
do it?
enter on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Ah, there she is. No, wait a minute.
That was
isn't
me.
it. Ohio N.
Ohio, and I know is excited and we'll come up with something, some project. Very good,
Yep.
Mary.
Okay, we'll let you know what it'll be.
Okay.
Well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
And so we don't need to hold you anymore because I know this is this is the summer.
That's
So
fun. It's fun to see everybody.
Yeah.
It
Good
is.
idea.
Very fun
Yeah.
to see everybody. And we're excited to see pictures from all the stuff that's happening. Let me ask you something, Pat. What fundraiser do you do on the 4th of July?
We have for many years, we do an omelet breakfast, omelets to order. you know, so people come in, and last year we raised $1,800, so that was great.
Wow.
And we've been doing that for years, so every July 4th, except, you know, in 2020, we didn't do it, but yeah, so the communities, you know, everybody comes, we try to get our word out, and last year we had the big press release, and this year the press release is going out. We tried to track down as many camp girls as we could, and I interviewed many. There's going to be a newspaper article about what they thought about camp, and it brought tears to my eyes when some of them said, you know, lifelong memories. And last year was about IT, but this year it's about the girls we sent.
Oh, that's nice.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's very special.
I have a comment. This is Kathy. Just thinking about an idea, and just keep in mind, I haven't discussed it with the rest of the chapter or with the rest of our organization, with Edwina and the rest of our group, which we could probably combine it. But there is a group here at Pebble Creek, or it's another group, when we were talking about maybe partnering with someone. But and I can't remember what the name is, and Edwina might be able to help me out here. But it's called Go With the Flow. And what it is it's the feminine products for young girls. And what they found was girls were missing school during that time of the month because they didn't have the products. And so what this group does is they go out and buy and then present it to the schools or however many schools that they're dealing with, or whatever organizations they're dealing with. But I thought that might be another idea for us to be able to help, or the community or the girls, or however we might design it. But that was a thought that I had that we might pursue. So at least I'll put it out there. So we'll see.
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Jane.
Mary?
I have to leave. And so goodbye, everybody. It was great to see you. I think this is really exciting.
It is.
And I'll see you next time. And I'll see you in October.
Okay.
A whole year.
Yeah. Well, before you go, Mary, just to let you all know, it will be announced, but we are not going to have a Let's Connect meeting in July or August. We looked at the calendar and just said there's so much going on and people are traveling. We're going to suspend the Let's Connect until September, and that will be fully announced, so you'll be aware of when it's always the fourth Tuesday. Look forward to that, and then we'll also have meetings in October and could be in November. We're still working on that.
So in September, we'll have lots of information for you.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
Bye, everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
And well, ambassadors will be in touch too ahead of
Yeah.
time. Thanks, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Other questions? So what you're saying, Sarah, is there will be, you have a plan for emails to go out to everyone, asking for information and sharing ideas as we go forward, and information about the t-shirts. Sounds like you guys have it so well planned. I'm delighted. Thank you.
Thanks, Joyce. Okay. So I think that concludes you can stop recording it. And I think we have, who do we have still on here? We have Kathy, and then we have Joyce from the ambassadors. We are going to chat a little bit. We're going to take the time that we're already together and chat a little bit. When you guys hop off the line.
Okay.
Thank you.
night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night.
Thanks.
Julie?
Bye.